Hey everybody, Matt Brown here. You might notice I'm in my new house now, so congratulations to me. Alright, so we're going to look at Turnaround from Incesticide in this one. This one's basically got 3 parts, and one of the parts is just a variation on the chorus. So let's get after the main riff to this one. We are in standard tuning, and we are in the key of E for the verse. So the main riff is pretty simple. For the first measure of it, what we're going to do is just a steady 8th note rhythm, but we're going to rest on the 1 beat. So we get 1, 2, 3. So you want to do those low E notes, just the low open 6th string, all with downstrokes. So we get for the first measure. Now the second measure on 1, we're going to play that E note again, and then the rest of the measure is this. So what you're doing is you're bending the 7th fret of the 3rd string up a full step to the note E. So that happens on the end of 1. Alright, so then the rest of the measure, you're going to hold the bend and pick it. It's up for beat 4 where you're going to pick the note and then release it. So this measure all together slowly, you'd have... Again slowly. Sometimes he won't release the bend on beat 4 and he'll do something like this. Like that. Also, you might notice too, with the first measure, sometimes instead of resting on the downbeat, he actually plays the open string on the downbeat. So usually the riff sounds like this. But a variation might sound like... So, you know, the guitar part is not doubled, so there's a little bit of breathing room to throw in a little bit of variety there. Alright, so let's look at the chorus, and I'm going to kind of break this down by the chords, by sets of 2 measures. So in the first 2 measures of the chorus, we're going to have our D5 power chord, that's open, 2 and 3, so a 3-string power chord. C5 with the root on the 5th string, so 3, 5, 5, 3 strings, and then A, played open 2, 2. So the rhythm slowly is... Okay, so we have 1, 2, so quarter notes with the D5, then 8th notes. So 2 strums and then a little open string transitional deal. And that carries for your next measure. So we have... And then an open string transitional strum at the end of that measure. So here we go. Alright, tempo. Alright, so the next measure is pretty much the same, but instead of going to the A5 at the end of it, we're going to go to G5 instead. So that's 3, 5, 5 on your low string. So this measure. Alright, so now we're to measures 4 and 5 of the chorus, and the chords there are F5, G5, and A5. And now he plays the A5 over here this time to keep consistency with these 3 chords, since they're all played on with the root note on the 6th string. So again. And then the next measure, we have F5, G5, and then a D5. So we get... Alright, now the last 2 measures are the same as that, except for it ends on C5. So... And back to the... Sorry, part. So I'll do the whole chorus slow, and then I'll do it at tempo. So here we go. 1, 2, ready, go. so that is it for the chorus. Let's move on to the bridge section now, which is just a variation of the chorus section. Okay, so the chord progression for this next part is the same. The rhythm is just different. So the first measure of each 2-bar thing, we get this. So it's 1, 2, 3, and. Okay, and then the next bar we have a rest on the end of, or right at the beginning. So right on 1. So we have 1. And so this time around he's playing the power chords, the A5 power chord, with the root note on the 6th string, so he can kind of slide between the G5 and A5, sort of like this. And he's doing some up strums here, so. Alright, so the next measure, or the next set of 2 measures is the same, but we're going to go between a G and an F5 at the end, like this. Okay, so let's put together what we have so far. First 4 bars. Ready, go. Alright, now to the next 2 bars we're going to start with F5 and G5. And then slide back between the A5 and the G5 again. Alright. Next 2 bars we have the F5 to G5 thing. And then D5 and C5. Last 2 bars. And then we finish with the C. So I'm going to do the whole bridge section pretty slow and at tempo. Here we go. Alright, so it's tempo now. And then you're back into that part. So that's really all there is to turn around. Like most Kurt Cobain songs, it's 2 parts, 2.5 if you consider the interlude like a new part. So yeah, I'll be working my way through the rest of Incesticide, and I still have Sifting and Blue from Bleach. So I'm gonna get to all of that in due time. So thanks for watching, and stick around for the rest of these songs.